welcome to another video, guys. This is about the Chechen. This is second, actually not second, the fourth Chechen war between the Chechen Communist Republic and Chechen Republic, with Dagestan backing them during the war on the side of the Chechens. The first pushes we see are quite minor and quite quick, as we quickly see uh, communist Chechen lose quite fast, but then we see something happen. Eastern Crimea goes to war with this area. And both Chechen and Dagestan start supporting them in the fight against communists, because this nation is communist. And quickly we see a lot of troops being used to cut off a lot of areas, create a lot of openings, and just overwhelm the enemy. We also see a lot of pushes happen, where the red team manages to push quite far into the blue team until the blue team decides to surrender. That was until we have the federations joining the wars on the sides of things, and we quickly have a all-around brawl as multiple factions have just gone to war. And the first things we see is that Dagestan and the Chechens are invaded quite quickly, as well as Georgia, only a bit though, is invaded. They also managed to liberate only a small piece of this area, as I was speaking about the known Caucasus Republic, actually not Republic, Federation, who have just pushed in the northern Dagestan. Over here, we do see some pushes manage to cut off a large part of, well, not cut off, but force some back-offs. And we also see Georgia push its troops into the Northern Caucasus Federation, or let's just say the NCF. You could say the New California Republic, but we're not in that thing. We also see this nation also allow Georgian troops to go through it and sends its own troops to help out. Also, this nation is its first target as it goes for the capital. I removed the capital map, so yeah. We also have the, what was it? Oh no, but we have the Stalingrad, this one over here, quickly having its area where Stalingrad is being overwhelmed, and it loses Stalingrad quite fast. And or is it Leningrad? I'm gonna just say Leningrad from now on, because I don't wanna associate with Stalingrad. Quickly we also see a lot of red team troops, or the red coalition. Actually the blue coalition, I'd like to say more, but we see the blue coalition make a lot of gains, against the red faction or the communists. And we also see these two, the Russian Federation and Free Russia, help out a bit. And who do they help out? As you guessed it, these guys. We also see this guy come in and help them because, well, it was pressure to do so. Ukraine also decides to help them out a bit. Same with all of these guys. So we're seeing a lot of stuff happen. Also, I'm not gonna address these. I know these two wouldn't have a lot of friends would have friend relations and all that. But we see the blue team push some areas back. In some areas, push the red team back. But in doing so, they have risked a lot of their lands as red team troops have started to gain military access through Ukraine, who is also sending some volunteer forces to the red team. And quickly we also see the red team get a large encirclement up north, which is quite good for them. They needed that encirclement. They were also losing a lot of troops, so this could turn out to be a good omen for them. While doing that, they have also pushed back the blues from Georgia and westernmost parts of Dagestan. Not fully, but they have managed to push them back quite far, and they managed to also take all of the border. Quickly we also see them get all of the land towards over here, and yeah, the Northern Caucasus Federation isn't seeing the best of its times. It's having to fight on two fronts, and only is losing now because, well, they were winning, but they don't have as many troops as they did before, due to tanks, new equipment, and all of that stuff being used up in the north and the south, the southern parts. And Georgia has just called in Armenia and Azerbaijan by the looks of it, but actually Azerbaijan is against them and has been for a while. So they joined the war against the Blues, but quickly we see Armenia push them back and Dagestan send a few of its troops to help out Georgia in taking out these parts, because Georgia had only a few divisions over here as they were fighting full force on the Northern Caucasus War. And this is what people will know on as the Great Caucasus War, which has had quite a lot of sides, but we'll see. It's just a new thing happen. Turkey goes to war with someone over here. And this is to regain some land that they have lost. So they quickly push in. Turkey is going to take a lot of land. Turkey has had the best time of its life currently, as it's in an economic boom. Its economy and people's living standards aren't high anymore. It's quite small, even though the living situation is still quite bad. They are improving that, and they're continuing to gain a lot of land, which for them is a great thing since they lost a lot of land to Armenia and a lot of other people. They did also lose a lot of this area, so they don't really like that. They want to reverse it. But in doing this stuff, they accidentally may have sent a few troops over here, and now they're part of the red team. So, yay, we have a good friend. We should see the blue team manage to send a few forces from up here through this area and into northern Turkey, as it calls itself. We also see the this part of this nation fall, this blue team nation, and a push over here in the north has caused a very serious possibility of the north having a encirclement crisis, and that's just not going to be going to happen in the eyes of the Blues, because well, they kind of cocky. They think they're going to win. And spoiler, they don't will not, because Dagestan has just pushed through the NCRs, not NCR, sorry, like wrong nation, NCF's lines, and managed to also help push out the rest of the blue team from the Chechen area. Also, their forces have started to also push down in the south, going towards the Baku, what I know is the Azerbaijani capital. Uh, Baku is going to have a lot of surprise about it, because they didn't think Dagestan would be this strong. And mind you, this because well, yeah, Dagestan has been having a economic and population boom, so yeah, for the past few years. Also, the world population is 8.5 billion, so yeah. We also see Baku, what's left of it anyway, being captured. Not captured, but encircled and cut off from the rest of the nation, which promptly starts to fall apart as more and more Azerbaijani troops start to see no point in the war and just decide to stop in their tracks and just accept their fates. Slowly, we also see Red Team troops start to gain more and more land in Azerbaijan, but will kinda push away from this front, as Turkey has just made a large push to take out what's left of Azerbaijan, its former ally, who it kinda wants some land from. Mainly this part of land. And also, it has just taken out this area. The red team is pushing hard over in the north, and is managing to cut off a lot of land by the looks of it. Oh my god. We have a problem now. So the blue team, a few dozen army corps are down here in this pocket. What do? Yeah, they hold out as their nations are absolutely steamrolled, and how they are steamrolled is one thing. Basic blitzkrieg is done, or also known as lightning war. The NCF's capital is right here. Well, not right here, right over there. You know what? Yeah. We see what's left of this nation fall over and capitulate. The little of the forces that's left over in the army corps area gives up. Azerbaijan decides to surrender, and the NCF is going to slowly but surely just fall apart, as its troops aren't even fighting anymore. They're just standing around, not doing anything. As soon as trouble or battle starts, they defect. And also, they have just lost their capital, so not good. Yeah, they capitulate. That is until Kazakhstan, not Kazakhstan, Iran, Syria, and also one other choice this war. The Southern Uralic Republic. and and the Caucasian war has just developed into a large war. And quickly, what happens is that the blue team manages to push far into these parts of the land that it holds. Azerbaijan is liberated mostly in the south, and the Azerbaijani government is remade. Over in the north, we see a large push towards the red capital, this red nation's capital, which is right here. This push is futile, but it does manage to cut off a large part of this nation, which is then taken away. And it decided that this nation will become a front line, basically, the entire nation, a front line land. But as that is fought off, red team troops start to also from Turkey arrive into Syria, as they are trying to take as much land as they can before losing some land even to the Syrians. We do see the Turks manage to cut off a relatively small part of this nation of Syria, who is not happy about this. It actually is quite mad about this. And Iraq allows too late that allows troops to its lands. And we have our first blue team supporter, as well as this guy, who also supports the blue team. We also have the Northern United Republic. This is an interesting thing because these three are in an alliance. We also see the blue Estonia joining in helping out the blue team, as it also wants some credits. It's same with Leningrad. But eventually the red team just starts to push back. They are too strong, their numbers are too great, and basically the United Republic over here is too weak to hold back the onslaught of troops who are just entering its country. And after video of this has spread through the public, the United Republic's entire nation is like, you know what? We give up. And as soon as this happens, everyone is like, you did what? You did what? And yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. And the red team has just started to push into Kazakhstan from the north, aiming for the coastal regions and to cut off a lot of land. Kazakhstan has not been ready for this. Kazakhstan is not ready for this kind of push to happen to it. So it had all its troops over here to push into these areas. Now that it's made clear that this won't work and this nation will just have to fall, because well, Kazakhstan, Iran and Syria have had economic problems. They've had to downgrade their military for a while, and this has just shown that they aren't very good at it, the war. They aren't good at war. They aren't even having any problems except for the breakthrough that happened. And speaking of this breakthrough, it has just become quite bad. Because the red team has managed to get to this area. Why am I saying this area? Because well, this is the northern Caucasus areas, and a lot of separatist groups have started to immediately pop up, immediately pop up that have just joined the red team, deciding that they want to be a part of it, the push towards over here to help relieve the troops. And the Kazakhstani troops are like quite bad at their job. They immediately fold over here. They do manage to at least survive in some parts of the front over here, as they managed to be squeezed out and then arrive over here, which is a good thing for them. But as soon as that happened, the Caspians started to declare independence. The Caspians are like a small area that wants independence, and basically they're a rebel group, so things happen. But immediately after they start declaring their independence, another rebel group is formed that immediately links up with Reds and links up with its brethren, and takes. I can just say the Kazakhstans are just the Kazakh country is just going to capitulate right now. Yep. And at this point, we see the Uralics get out of the war. Kazakhstan is going to have to deal with its rebellion over here, as it's quite bad for them. And most of these areas just decide to get out of the war, deciding to stop fighting. And Azerbaijan also declares that it doesn't want to join the war anymore, well, be a part of it. So, life is good. Life is very good. And yeah, we also see the last part of the Caucasian War happening, which is Turkey finally pushes fully into Syria, making Syria panic a lot, and its leader having a panic attack is kind of a pun as well. And we also see Iran losing a lot of land, and support from over here of Iraqi support is just lost. So what is left is that Syria finally decides to give up after a encirclement is done. Slowly we also see troops of Turkish troops start to make it closer to Tehran, deciding to also try their best to take as much land as possible, which actually works. Turkey gains a lot of land in their pushes. Eventually, Turkey manages to reach the outskirts of Tehran, which should be like right here. You can see the outskirts have been entered. So yeah, and at this point, Iran is at the point that it has lost now its capital. It's lost its Northern Sea access. Turkish troops are freely moving through the country, and this is not making anything better. It's just making everything worse. So, yeah, we see Iran give up, and at this point the war is just over. And this war has lasted for like 2 years because of all the fighting over here, and the entrance of these other nations. The Euro Republic and the things just did what they did. They just wanted land. Um, so yeah. Now we're gonna draw the borders. First we're gonna draw what will happen to this nation and this nation, as well as this guy. So what happens up in the north? We see both of these nations. If I can just do this, having being partitioned between three neighbors. This guy, and this guy in a lot of land. This part actually wasn't a part of it, so yeah, but I think one of these nations is going to gain Kaliningrad. Not Kaliningrad, sorry. Leningrad. And I think it's going to be this guy, because they were the first to push and take it. So yeah, they gain a lot of land. The ally over here isn't very happy, but what can be said? They did lose the war, so stop whining. Okay. Eventually, as I am going to just do some stuff over here, we see these areas being finally taken by these guys. I think this area will be made into a different country, puppet country. There we go. And this is also a puppet country, but for this guy. This country over here is made into a shadow of itself. It has lost a lot of land, and yeah, for it's very bad. For Dagestan and Chechnya, it is actually quite good, as they get to rid out their borders. Yippee! Chechnya actually triples its size, I think, and Dagestan just gains a bit more land over here, and also tries to gain as much land as it can up north, which it actually gains. And at this point it's quite strong. It manages to look like mini Korea. And Georgia. This guy really wants a lot of land to be 2 puppets. Yeah, it's going to create 2 puppets, but the first puppet is given over to this nation, seeing as it's better, and also the second puppet is given over to Chechnya as a show of gratitude for them not really flopping over as fast as these guys thought it would. So yeah, this nation is made into the democratic nations and is kinda broken up. There's nothing really to say about this except for maybe this nation gaining a bit of Kazakhstan and a lot of the Euro Republic lands, as well as a small thing, which is a small itty bitty puppet region. It decides that it cannot allow to be even autonomous and decides to immediately annex. So yeah, this guy has definitely tripled in size. They're even more noticeable now. They're like a blob. This nation over here decides that they will at first corner the want for this land, then a lot more, but everyone knew that they wanted a lot of land and they would want even more land, so they were given what they were given, and at this point no one's surprised that everyone wants land. In this world, if you have land, you have power, and if you have power, you have, well, land. Or if you're just powerful, then you have land, so yeah. Power you that equals land. Land equals power, so kind of thing. We also see the Northern Caucasus Republic being broken up. We see the First Republic being the Northern Caucasus Republic, as it calls itself, but it's actually a different name. Also, the Altai's have recently get a bit of land from the Siberian areas, and same with the Vanuatu ones. They gained a lot of land, but this is only for their own benefits. That's just very surprising. That just surprised me so hard that I almost pissed myself. But we see this area being given over to these guys. The this area over here is discussed a lot, namely this area, and decided that a small portion of it will be given over to Chechnya in case they just wanted a bit of more land. Same with Dagestan, and the rest will be given over to these guys, who are very thankful, and they don't object to any land that they get. They actually want land, even more land. These guys want the entire area over here, but Tanaka cannot be given, and well, it's not possible to be given. So yeah, Dagestan does negotiate for a bit more land, and that's basically it for them. Kazakhstan is forced to allow the Caspian territories, the Northern Caspian territory, to have its independence. As well, yeah, it kinda needed this to be a territory. The reason why Northern Caspia is a very important territory is because Kazakhstan very much needs this land. Same with the southern part, but it turns out this nation had actually orchestrated a rebellion here, even though it was helping Kazakhstan. It kinda just made them flop for its own personal gain. This nation over here just managed to barely get existence, and yeah, Kazakhstan is made into a very hard to say state. Well, not hard to say, but well, it's basically carved up a bit more, and then it's just let off the loose news, if I can say that right. But yeah, this is the new map over here. Now for Azerbaijan. Yeah, Armenia kinda gains a lot of its former land, Nagorno-Karabakh is given to it, and it gets a bit more land out south and up north. Georgia is like, no, we want this part of the land, and it is given it. Same with, and Georgia just gets this part. So, yeah, happy is all that is. There to be. I do think Iran will be having a good talk with Azerbaijan later, but basically Dagestan decides that it wants some land over in the south that is closer to Baku, as well as it just wants some land over here. And Georgia is like, okay, you can have that, but we're going to have a miniature Romania. If you can see my trick that I did here. But basically, each area that Georgia wants, it wants because it's going to declare Greater Georgia, which at this point it is going to declare, as it declares the Greater Georgian state to actually exist now. And if you mess with us, we mess with you. But if you mess with us allies, we will fuck you up. So got that. Armenia did try to peacefully ask for this land, but it was forced to demand it with the help of Georgia. So they got a bit of land. As you can see, Turkey did gain some land from this. They also gained this northern area up here, as it was fully integrated right after it was taken, because, well, yeah, these guys did fight for their nation, but it eventually got taken out, so nothing to say there. We do see Turkey kinda try and negotiate a large and painful deal with Syria, which actually goes through after a lot of talks, but it immediately gets declared as a phony, and that's by the new Syrian president, who is is quite nationalist. So, yeah. But it's undeniable, as they did get beaten in a war. They have lost a lot of land, and well, then literally one other guy got a bit of land from Syria. Yeah, Iraq gained a bit of land due to them just cutting off support to Syria quite early on, and they got actually a bit of valuable land, as they actually wanted a bit more land. They just wanted to have a better border. I don't know if the border is a lot better. It's kinda. Over here we do see Iran being harshly punished. Also, Iran is actually given back a bit of land in the south, which is actually turned back into a smaller area, and then it's redrawn a third time into just be a bit less harsh. And Armenia wants some of the land, so they were giving it. And so we see Syria and Iran make a defensive pact as well, because they really want some defense. But at this point I'm gonna have to end the video here. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.